Hey guys, how to pass shit test for a day game? Did you know that shit test is only for incongruent zombies, PUA delusional types without any social intelligence? I know it sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing it. Oh, she's giving you a shit test to test your frame, as white dating coaches tells you. Oh yeah, they'll tell you that you gotta sidestep the shit test. That's how you pass the shit test. But in reality, you know, or you have to ignore the shit test as they'll tell you. Then you'll get laid, right? That's what they tell you. And that's the thing. And while you may think the shit test is important because it shows up in every single white dating coach's videos, their most popular video is how to pass a shit test. But that's the problem because it's not true. What if the shit test is not important at all? And you're like, whoa, what are you talking about, John? Doesn't make any sense. So, hey, what's up? I'm going to share with you 3 secrets. I should be wearing a watch or something. Okay. I'll share with you 3 secrets about the shit test that will change the way that you think about it. You get this. One. Oh, the class. Okay. All right, let's continue. So, you're going to see the world differently because congruency is king. We'll say this again. Congruency is king for this sermon. That you have to be congruent. Otherwise, they're not going to really understand it. So, the thing is that when people get shit tested, it's because they are incongruent. They're not actually matching what they're saying to their behavior. And that's a problem. Let me just share this with the on YouTube live right now, right? Hopefully I don't have to redo this video. That's the best I can do. All right, let's continue. So, good, there's 2 people here. So I'm Johnny Elite. I'm the world's best day game coach, in case you guys don't know who I am. On this second channel, I've been here daily for 3 days. Let's just see how long I can last before I burn out, okay? But 666 latent poll testimonials for Daygame is a lot. So there's a lot of data regarding the shit test that we're going to talk about because my students don't actually experience shit tests. You're like, well, that's impossible. Everyone experiences a shit test from women. Everybody. What are you talking about, John? This is a PUA thing. This is a day game thing. Everybody experiences shit tests. No, they don't. So if none of my students have ever experienced a shit test ever when leveling up their skills, then there's a lot of things they don't experience either. They don't experience shit test. They don't experience flakes. They don't experience last minute resistance. It's all they're all connected when you're socially calibrated because 55% of your communications with women is your nonverbal communications. And also 38% is your tonality. Hey, what's up? And only 7% is your words. So when you're using words to deal with a shit test, that becomes a problem. You see? That becomes a major problem because you're trying to deal with a problem with shit test by using the 7% of words. That's why you guys are stuck. You guys are stuck because of that. Let me change the I want to make sure more people shows up. I have a lot to say. I'm going to change the thing over here for the first site. So how many of you guys have experienced shit test? How many of you have experienced shit test and you're getting tired of it? Because if my students don't experience it, then it is preventable. So most likely, this is more of a zombie thing. This is not a pickup art. Like this is not a skillful thing. Naturals do not experience shit tests because they're congruent. So why has none of my students ever experienced a shit test when leveling up, flakes or even last minute resistance? It's the only thing because it's only for zombies who are delusional, unfocused, and they have opinions as facts. Half-assing mass approaches, nothing wrong with that because these type of people, zombies, and I don't mean to insult because we can use different names. In the Bible, they have different names for zombies. They don't call them zombies like I do. It's not to be insultive, right? Hey, what's up? Is that is the DNA of the pickup artist. If you guys do not have these traits of delusions, mass approaching, unfocused, opinions as facts, it's almost like a zombie. I don't want to use labels like sociopaths, ADHD, delusional disorders, autistic. I don't want to use those labels. We want to talk about the traits. So if you don't have these traits, you can't approach. I mean, is Blue Pill right now approaching women? No, they're turning MGTOW because of the economy. So therefore, Blue Pill, if they don't have the zombie traits, they cannot do this. But because you have the zombie traits, you're going to experience shit test. But my students do not experience because they're hiding the zombie traits. Does that make sense? They're finding a way to mask these traits so that way they never have to experience shit test. And they do it through drills and exercises. Because Blue Pill cannot do Daygame. And sometimes even if you have these traits to the extreme, you have low SMV and you lack social skills and emotional intelligence for your 20 out of 35 being congruent. It's other white dating coaches that talks about the shit test all the time. Every white dating coach you see, oh yeah, here's how you overcome a shit test, and then you start to do this, and then you do that, and then you shit test here, and then you do that's how they talk like. And then you got Todd V. Hey guys, you want to know how bad a shit test? 100% of the time. Yeah, I'm Todd V. Shit test. That's like how he talks like, especially when you're doing game, I'm just making up stuff. I have no idea because I have like 3 late testimonials and they never get laid during the coaching period, but you gotta do that shit test. That's the thing. That's how he talks. You know, my name's Todd. I'm talking to a girl. I'm like a grown ass man, you know, talking to you. Oh, you're so adorable. Wow. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Oh, look at you. It's like it's just like cocky funny. Oh no, she's giving me a shit test. You see in this video because she's giving me a shit test. She's like into me. It's like shut up, Todd. It's like he's playing 4D fucking chess, right? In his own mind. White dating coaches, they're all over. You look at any white dating coach. If we were to go on YouTube right now and we type in Daygame shit test, I can guarantee you the first thing that's going to pop up is a white dating coach. Yep, Todd V. How to pass a shit test, verbal game infield when he got completely fucking demolished with this woman that is just like he's literally harassing her with a shit test. Ah, shit test. Then second video, Todd V. 5 shit test secrets. Mystery. Oh, for fuck's sakes, global game platform scamming networks. Mystery explains the shit test. You see, that's a problem. They have no idea what they're talking about. Then Tom Torero, dealing with shit. You see, another white dating coach, Tom Torero. Now you're dealing with shit test, and this is how you overcome them. Because all white dating coaches are all like zombie-like because they're the former engineers, and because of that, they all always talk about the shit test. That's right, all the time. So don't mind my posh accent. And then another guy, Todd V again, the psychology of shit test. Always shit test, shit test, shit test. You see that? White equals shit test. And then what's the next video? Now we have another guy, another shit test, another white guy. And then they have another white guy, Coach Kyle. Do you say that to every girl? How to pass the shit test? You see that? Another white dating coach. Pass shit test with women like a boss. Another white guy, Todd V. How to easily pass shit test. You see that? So if this is zombie-like, and this is like They're all white. The white people get you into their funnel because you experience shit tests by being incongruent. And then all of a sudden, you see this on YouTube and you go right into Todd V's funnel with 3 Daygame late testimonials. It's insane, but they're all white. How could that be? Because they're not naturals. They're not blue pill. They're not social blue pill people. They're not supernaturals. These are former engineers, Asperger's, socially impaired people. That's where the shit test comes from. Should I talk like Todd V for the rest of this video? So if other white dating coaches talk about shit tests all the time, and is their most popular topic, and I can be like Todd V, I can like start to have a body language like a guru, yeah, and then other people will listen to me like I'm Jordan Peterson. That's right. They'll listen to me like I'm Jordan Peterson trying to be emotionally or intellectually dishonest and try to make something that sounds like a half truth. And then from there, you start to tell them the lie. It's all game. So that's how they get the zombies into their funnel. But that's intellectually dishonest because shit test is only for people that are incongruent. My students have never experienced a shit test before. So, hey, JP impression is hilarious to me, right? Who's JP? So, oh, Jordan Peterson. Yeah, that's right. So that's the thing about shit tests because it's our most popular topic of white dating coaches. We can go on all day about shit tests. So what you don't know is these former engineers, right, who became dating coaches are socially impaired. We're talking about Asperger's syndrome if they're engineers. Of course, you might say, well, not all engineers are Asperger's. Yeah, but are they like monotone? Or are they kind of like, a little bit off? They're socially. This is about speaking the truth here. I don't feel like censoring what I'm saying and trying to sanitize it because this is the sermon I'm giving today. The truth, unfiltered. This is exactly what's happening. There's no sanitation, like tizing. I'm not going to walk in eggshells and try to say, oh, it's all about traits and stuff. You want to hear more Jordan Peterson kind of talk? It makes you laugh, give it a thumbs up, because that way they'll start to think they need some benzos. But that's the thing, because so basically, I'm going to share with you 3 secrets. Fuck, it's so hot in here. 3 secrets um about zombies who are delusional and focus and opinions as facts, half-assing mass approaching. Nothing wrong with that. Is the DNA of the pickup artist, like I said. But without these traits, you can't approach. Since Blue Pill can't, Blue Pill cannot approach. They only swipe on Tinder or they go to nightclubs or hang around the outside nightclubs or meet a woman through work or through a social circle. But sometimes you have these traits to the extreme if you have low SMV, lots of cortisol, double chin, and a lack of social and emotional intelligence for your 20 out of 35 being congruent and how you realize why you have these shit tests, okay? And why you're listening to tall Caucasian dating coaches when they're all talking about shit tests, every single one. Ah, yeah, talking about shit tests. And all of them, they have like a death stare, like a, I don't want to say sociopath because I don't want to like label people, but they all have a sociopathic death stare, like, right? And then their eyes are like Pennywise, right? They're like separated. The more separated, the more sadistic, the more likely they're going to try to get you into a boot camp. So they'll be like, oh, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown. Oh, you all float by dealing with the shit test. You all float. Oh. So that's the thing with their Pennywise eyes, right? They all float. Yes, they all float. So who looks like, just because they look like possibly a natural, they look like they're tall, they're white, with a death stare that white people and blue pill do not have. In fact, they're super zombies. If there's a lot of zombies for the PUAs, these guys are super zombies. These guys are not righteous. These are people making you war sheep, like idolaters, like the people. There's a difference. My students and the people that listen to me, I'm telling the truth because I have 666 laid in testimonials. I know what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you guys the truth. These other people, they worship tall white dating coaches tall, white, black, good looking, muscles. It's always like a halo effect. They always look at the halo effect. And what that means is that for the halo effect, it means that if you take one trait, oh, he's strong, so he must be good. He has 10 bad traits, then everything else gets canceled. Oh, look at RSD Max, you know? Oh, look at RSD Max, right? For this guy, he like looking for RSD Max. The way he talks, like the thing is that they'll be, oh, he's good looking, so he must be good. And he's white. Oh, shut down the brain, right? Let's be worshiping just like Moses. When Moses went up the mountain to get the 10 commandments and he came back, what do the idolater sheep, the worshippers do? They make an extra golden calf to worship. Half of them were like that. They're probably like very far left. Half of them were like that. The other half was enlightened. Does that make sense? The enlightened Daygamers or enlightened Moses people. And then we have the worshippers. It's like there's two different people. And then they split the faction in two. They fought to the death, and then the good side won, which is not the idolaters, the worshippers. You see that? When you worship, you are a horrible person. You're ungrateful. No matter how many miracles that they see out of Moses, it's like Johnny Late. Hey, Moses, right? Show us another late testimonial. Okay, show us another miracle. Show us another miracle. But my students don't get shit test. They don't understand what a shit test is. So that's the thing. Super zombies, right? They have for these coaches, right? They have this marketing mindset to not offend you. So in order to extract money out of you, they'll be like, hey guys, this is ABC's, and I'm very nice to you because I'm speaking like this to you, and I'm treating you guys like dumb sheepos. I don't want to offend you because I know you guys are far left. And when you guys are very far left, you understand that if I offend you, you get triggered because you're always triggered because you have high ego and low self esteem, then you will not listen to me no matter how good my message is. Does that make sense? If you triggered the low self-esteem guys and they have opinions as facts, then you can't get them into the boot camp. That's a secret, right? So yeah, exactly. Because these Latin world tours and stuff for $10,000, they're so important that I don't offend any of you people. So that way, you Asians, right? You narcissistic Asians without emotional intelligence, you get triggered very easily. You got to go into my, Latin world tour. And the only way to do that is to give bullshit advice that doesn't work for day game because 20 out of 35, only stuff that works for 15 out of 35, and also for Tinder, right, it's just 12 out of 35. So Asians will status max, right? And add extra points by being a passport bro. Can Asians be passport bros? Hmm? That's how they're like. They have to be so nice to you. If you look at a dating coach and they're nice to you, they're probably trying to market to you like, hey, I'm honestly Max here, and I want to be like nice to you. I'm gonna give you some concept. Like, hey guys, I'm Tyler. Hey, hey, I'm being charismatic, and it's kind of weird, but hey, whenever you see a coach like that, right? Whenever they're nice, they got something to sell you. I tell you the truth to wake you guys up. They are nice because they cannot trigger you. Because if they trigger people, but even Jesus triggers a lot of people. And even Jesus got betrayed by Judas, just like I've been betrayed by Judas. For a student that sold me out for $400 or 30 gold or 30 silver coins, right? Who betrayed Jesus and tried to turn people against him and try to crucify him with Reddit and stuff like that, which is stupid. Stupid. But they cannot stop the truth. They cannot stop the movement because all the lay testimonials, 666, no matter what they say, they just get more lay testimonials that keep popping up because what I'm saying is righteous and truthful. They scorn discipline. They have haughty eyes. They are always have a lying tongue and quick to shed blood. These people are not righteous. They're evil. They're far left. They're like the Moses. They're like the other faction that doesn't actually like follow instructions, and they're ungrateful. And they'll never believe what you say. Because if we look at the Bible and we look up the Proverbs and we look up fools, the guys who gets a shit test. We'll get to the point. Don't worry about that. Okay. So Proverbs Fools, right? So I'm going to look at some quotes from the Bible about fools and how they don't really listen. A fool does not okay, this would describe the people that dismisses what I say, shoot down the ideas like the Iron Dome, like the Israeli Defense Force Iron Dome. Okay? It says here, Proverbs 18:2. A fool does not delight in understanding, but only in airing his opinion or opinions. Next one, Proverbs 23:9. Do not speak to a fool, for he would despise the wisdom of your words. Next one, Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise, which is me, right? The wise, and become wise. For a companion of fools suffer harm. So basically saying foolish people with their crazy madness, Latino stubbornness, and then just constantly one-track mind, bad decisions, crashing out. Most of my students that are like engineers and stuff, the psychopaths, they no longer like are here because AI is taking over their job. Now they have to work, they have to MGTOW twice as hard. Proverbs 12:15. A way of a fool is right in his own eyes. Like some of these guys with opinions facts. But a wise man listens to counsel. They didn't listen to counsel. They'll just shoot down the idea again. Okay, here's Proverbs 29:9. You can't reason with a fool. The Bible calls it fool. I call it zombies. Because fools are unreasonable. You can't reason with a fool because fools are unreasonable. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instructions. Proverb 1:7. Professing to be wise, they became fools. Romans 1:22. As a dog returns to his vomit, so fools repeatedly to their folly. Folly means foolishness, which is doing it their way. Even a fool is considered wise if he kept silent and discerning when he holds his tongue. Instead of like just attacking me in the forum groups. Yeah, that's great. Fools talk a good game, but Proverbs 14. Okay, here's a good one, right? That relates to me being slandered on the forum group on Reddit. Proverbs 10:18. Hiding hatred makes you a liar. Slandering others make you a fool. The word fool, you see that? Bible doesn't say zombies. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, like I tried to on the Reddit. Or you will talk, or you yourself would be like him. Proverbs 26:4. You see that how wise this book is? This guy, this is King Solomon. He had like 500 wives and stuff, which is kind of good. Proverbs 10:8. The wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin. Their whole dating life will come to a ruin. And here's the thing. They always scare you with discipline. Oh no, John's a disciplinary. The Bible says this. Proverbs 15:5. A fool rejects his father's discipline, but whoever heeds correction is prudent. You get it? So we're gonna move on from this. But I want to bring this up because now we're gonna talk about shit test. Okay? So the coaches are just nice to you to extract more money, but they always say shit test, shit test, shit test. They want to get you mentally stuck first. And whenever their eyes are like Pennywise to the sideways, right? Like to the side. Whenever their eyes are like that, right? You always put in a boot camp. The more the eyes separate, you will notice if a dating coach is a sociopath, they have intense eyes, and then it separates exactly 1.5 millimeters like this. They kind of look like two different directions like that, a little bit, just a tiny bit. They can accomplish good things in the world, not good for people, but they can accomplish some things because they're sadistic. But at the same time, they're delusional and it always ends them in the boot camp. It's Machiavellian. Machiavellian. So in reality, the solutions are here without spending an arm and a leg. If you do the work and not run away. And I know what you're probably thinking. You were a worshiper and you worship them. But due to their halo effect, they're tall, they're strong, good looking, or higher ethnicity. Then they must know what they're talking about, right? Because they're tall and white, right? They're a dating coach. Well, listen, there's only one day game coach in the entire fucking world right now. Just one. that actually is still getting students laid. And another Indian student, right now, he's going to propose to his girlfriend. The only one person that's getting people laid. Why not listen to that one person? That's why people are here. Thank you for being here, even though it's 3 people. Give it a thumbs up. Because the reason why you listen to me is because I'm speaking the truth. Is nourishing. It's like for the first time ever, you're hearing the truth, and nobody is actually like telling the truth. And then when that happens, you're like, well, I don't get it. Why is John telling the truth? Shouldn't you just like try to market to people? I don't care about the money. I love money, right? I love money just as much as everyone, but it's not my first thing. I'm more happier to get more people laid because that's helping God, Jesus, to get people because they're not procreating, they're turning MGTOW. The tree of life is dying. If that guy's gonna, propose, then he's gonna procreate, just like the hater. The hater was like, "Oh no, another Chinese student got married and procreated," and he crashed out and quit. That's going against the tree of life. Reddit, all that stuff. It's like, oh, let's turn on Jesus, right? It's like Judas. Let's betray Jesus with a kiss for 30 silver coins. Let's turn the Romans against Jesus. Let's turn the Jewish people against Jesus. Not saying I'm comparing myself to Jesus. I did pray for permission to say this, but I'm just saying it's metaphorically alike because my power for all the lay testimonials is not because I'm some brilliant guy. I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty fucking smart. But however, like even though I'm a genius and like not to brag or nothing, but I'm probably a genius and very, very smart. But however, my power does not come from this. Jesus in the Holy Spirit grants wisdom, even to King Solomon. My power comes from the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit helps my students to study. When their alignment for their manifestation, thoughts, and feelings are aligned, they start to do the homework. They believe in themselves. And then for the students, they start to actually do the homework. And then the women actually submit to the students, and the Holy Spirit makes all this happen. So you're watching the miracles, just like Moses had like nonstop miracles. It's just nonstop, one after another, because there's no way a human being, a 5'7" Chinese guy like me, can get 666 laid and potent testimonials unless there's something different here. I'm accessing the same things that the naturals are. Maybe the naturals are very like, oh, they make fun of John. Oh yeah, he thinks he's psychic. I could tell you like I can make predictions that all come true so far. We looked at a list of predictions. Almost all of them came true. Some of them have not reached there. I can tell you how the Russian war ends with, Ukraine and Russia. They will give up a piece of land. I'm thinking about maybe Donbass or somewhere else. In exchange that they leave, and then Donald Trump will actually stop the war. That's my prediction. It's gonna happen. But he's like, oh no, John, because they're far left. These guys, these fools, right, are far left. They're not spiritual. The far right is more like um Christians. They have a logical system. They're reasonable. The far left is always Machiavellian, trashing out meltdowns. The right does not have meltdowns. They don't know what a meltdown is. But the far left, you know, that's why the only people that are trying to come to me for training is the far left because they have no emotional intelligence. They can't even feel when they're depressed. So they come to me and say, "Oh, I'm not depressed," but because they don't feel anything, they want to come in here and half-ass it and be a fool and be a warship. Oh, because all the other coaches are like this, right? It must work. Show me one lay testimonial, and then they just do this, right? They get offended. Show me one white dating coach lay testimonials for Daygame outside of tall self-proclaimed highly account coaches. Show me one for this year. And they're like, "Oh, John, you're so evil." It's like they can't even show me it, and they just do this because they get offended. Their face like this. They scowl. But when they do this, the words bounce off of their fucking brain, right? And then you tell them the truth. They become like fools, like the Proverbs. It just keeps bouncing. They don't hear a single fucking word I say. They're filtering everything, even when I'm trying to tell you guys the truth about shit test. But then I'm going to show you a great way you can, have to deal with shit test. Because the best solution is prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth 10 pounds of the cure or something like that. So you want to make sure the shit test does not happen in the first place, so you can get amazing results like my students. So the first secret is that mystery, right? In RSD type systems. Mystery is like Asperger's tumor, right? So when I say a tumor is more benign, it's not going to kill you, but it is like Asperger's, it's not healthy. But because people have lower self-esteem, they're delusional. They're half-assing it. And the Bible talks about people like that. They just call them fools. I call them zombies. They make bad decisions and then they quit. Those kind of people are, because they're half-assing it, they think mass approaching is easier than drilling things down so they can use tactics and techniques and shit tests. And also, RSD is like a cancer. They're more autism. They're not logical and structured and stuff like that, systematic. They're more like trying to use their state in mass approaching and lying to their delusions because of that delusional trait of the first one, that you are enough. That's the thing. They want to say, you are enough. That's a big secret. You are not enough. They'll tell you, not to get triggered or not to, you know, they'll tell you, right? To get triggered or not to attack, but sidestep making it into a joke. That's what they do for the shit test. They say, do not attack the woman, yell back at her. Do not defend yourself. And that maybe I should have done that when I get falsely accused, right? I shouldn't. It's like a shit test, right? For the, unteachable cases. They always want to be the judge, jury, and executioner of the truth. I should not have defended myself. I should not have attacked back. I should just be like, just shift the blame. Maybe there's something's wrong with you, right? Because you can't focus, right? Don't blame it on me because you quit early. I should have done that, right? But it's like kind of like a shit test. But their idea is that you have to sidestep the shit test or make it into a joke. This is just some PUA nonsense of zombies or what the Bible calls a fool. So, but that's the thing. This is like part of the 2.5 points for the game tactics, because looks is out of 10, money is out of 5, status is out of 10 for ethnicity, social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control, 2.5 points each. That's 7.5 points right there that my students have in the naturals. They have it too automatically. My students have to practice the drills to become a natural like those. But game is only 2.5, so there really looks money, status plus game. But during the inflation, where your emotions become minus 2.5, oh, but you gotta do the shit test, right? It's like stupid PUA shit. You gotta do a shit test. You gotta do a shit test because, you know, she's testing your frame, and that's how. And literally, you go on YouTube, every single shit test page, right? The whole front page is just all full of white dating coaches. Shit test, how to pass, shit test, how to pass, shit test. Just fucking PUA zombie tactics. So if let's say you had perfect game, you could same day. Yeah, right. That's impossible for zombies, but without my coaching, they're samurai, not ninjas. But let's just say hypothetically that they could do same day lays. Is it impossible? Because you never seen a white dating coach do a same day lay from open to sex. You never, because it's impossible, because they're zombies, because they're former engineers. Unless they're using alcohol, maxing, and heavy bedroom escalation with romantic flirts. Outside of that, it will never work. So they always get number of closes. The zombies, the worshippers, the idolaters, the idols that you worship. So the big idea here is that I don't think a single student of mine on Elite Access has ever asked me, hey, John, how do you pass a shit test? I've never heard that before, because they don't have shit tests, because they're perfecting their nonverbal communications, their body language. They're perfecting their social skills flow drill. They're perfecting their whitewash tonality and slowing things down. What is a shit test? They're congruent. Those 3 skills already in a white husband material whitewash fashion, they're congruent. Like, what the hell is this other shit, right? You're incongruent. You're walking there like a zombie, like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh." I'm gonna run up to her, right? Like a bench-toed Indian, right? He's gonna run up to her like as fast as he can. He's gonna stop her like a London Daygamer and says, "Hey, I love your style. I love your eyes. I love your fashion." And it's like, what the fuck? And then he'll put his hand around her, and then it's like, "I also think we should get married." And we It's like, what the fuck? And then high five for that, right? And then start self amusement all day, right? Of course they're incongruent. That's like a fucking clown. What the fuck is that? That's like a person that listens to too much RSD shit, you know? Hey, I'm Tyler. Oh yeah, let's pretend to give a hug. Oh, the social expectations. Oh, now I got a hug. It looks good for the camera. High five for that. I'm gonna lift you up. It's like it's just some stupid, like, it's like clown game. That's why they're incongruent. Facial expressions are incongruent. They're squaring off and they're freaking her out, raising her cortisol. So it's like, what the hell? And then they're like, oh yeah, and now she's gonna give me a shit test over here, right? Before I go home with her, she's gonna give me a shit test. If I pass the shit test, right? If I pass the shit test, then she's gonna go home with me. But if I don't, then that's the thing. You watch me playing 4D chess here. It's like fucking zombies or fools. So they're my students are dressed whitewash husband material. They're congruent. Their facial expressions matches what they say. Their body language matches what they say because 55% of your communications is nonverbal. So if 55% is nonverbal, that's above 50%. Then why the fuck isn't everybody just going to Elite 30, right? And just going through the 30-day challenge first, right? Just to build the first skills. Obviously, you need elite tonality mastery to not bench out because you need to hide the cortisol stress in your voice. Because if you're affected and you're going to turn MGTOW, right? You're going to start to sound depressed and timid and I don't sound depressed. It's like, dude, you sound very depressed. No, anyone would say I'm not depressed. It's like, no, no, that sounds very, very depressed. Oh, I can't hear it. So, okay. So you can't hear emotions in others or yourself, but you're not depressed. But you said you were depressed when you first contacted me on the screenshot. So which one is it? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. So that means I can hear all their mistakes. That means I have emotions. That means I could hear every single emotional note that you guys cannot hear. Because the only thing you guys can hear is this excitement, oh yeah, or else like distress. Oh, it's like two emotions. So being uncongruent is what triggers shit tests 100%. Just like this, right? You're looking for a new job, right? Am I right, BC? And in my psychic prediction, I know he's like, oh, psychic far left, right? I don't believe this. I was right exactly when you're going to get the job, exactly when you're going to keep it, how long you're going to keep it, and then when your next one is, right? And then I was right, wasn't I? Tell people. No, no, there's no such thing. John cannot predict things like that because I'm not spiritual, right? I try to show I'm the evil as the fucking people in the Moses, right? The ones who are idol worshippers. Yeah, good for you. Far left. So, but the thing is that maybe because you're not getting a job in the job interview, even though my students keep getting jobs, right? Because they train under me. Other Latino guy, right? He also got a job right away twice, just using the same Elite 30 body languages to use it for the job interview. And because you're not congruent, because you have this sort of look like you know the big frown, right? I don't want to say Latino frown, but you're Latino. But hey, I'm having a great day. I'm very happy. I'm glad to be at this job interview. Right? That's a problem because it's like, what the fuck is that? Then they're not gonna hire you. So congruency is actually like a human trait to be accepted. And in the job interview, if you're incongruent, then whenever they pretend to say like, "Oh yeah, we're in contact you and stuff," it's just another shit test. Kind of similar, right? Yep, you are right, right? Being, yeah, exactly. So you have to be congruent. You can't just do this, right? So you know, maybe there's like mild depression. I think the Latino community, right, does not actually go to mental health services very often. They're very distrusting of it. And they always say that they don't feel anything, so therefore they don't need to do anything. But in reality, they might be extremely depressed, but they just don't know it. I'm not diagnosing, I'm describing the traits. You can describe the traits without trying to diagnose, but there might be some mild depression all the time because their lives are very incongruent and they're lazy. Not all of them are lazy. I don't want to generalize, but the pickup artists are super lazy. Outside their job, they work very hard. But outside their job, right? Because they have hyper focus ADHD. What's hyper focus ADHD? Oh, you're diagnosing it. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to say a trait. Hyper focus means you can only do the things you enjoy. Anything you don't enjoy, like doing the drills and exercises that I teach, your brain shuts down. So you run away. Hyper focus is the worst because it's hard to develop new skills outside of your interest with hyper focus. So when they look at my drills, they'll dismiss it. So 53% of communications is nonverbal, 38% is your tonality, and only 7% is your words. This is important because dealing with shit tests, you are dealing with 7% words. So it's like Todd V is like, okay, here's what you're supposed to say during a shit test. Okay. So, uh, so you're going to say this word over here. Oh, do you really believe that's true? You seem like a prude. Ha, 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 ha. I said so. I said a script. Ha, and Todd V, that's how he's like, you know, words are not going to solve it. The tonality might help a little bit if he actually had any. Hey, I'm Todd. Only one note goes up when I talk once in a while because it's like kind of like Asperger's syndrome and just one note. Robot monotone, but just one note goes up. That's how you know when they talk like that. Only one note goes up, and then that's it. There's no variety in the words. It's not whitewashed. So that's why you're getting stuck because you're incongruent. Your facial expressions are like, I'm completely clueless, like Todd V. Yeah. And she's like completely crossing her arms, leaning backwards on the table. And he's like, oh, he leans forward like this with a big hunch, right? The Todd V hunch, the naturally long, big hunch, right? Hey, I'm Todd V. Ah, you like my hunch? No, you cannot fucking hunch. But that's the thing. He's incongruent. Todd V is very incongruent. All of RSD is very incongruent. White dating coaches are incongruent. They're just some low value person trying to win her over. It's not congruent. It's like, oh yeah, I need some more self amusement. I got to deal with shit test. But you know, sometimes there are some day gamers because if you can barely afford Elite Bundle 2 or Elite Bundle Resurrections, your facial expressions may have a sad frown. You might have a poverty sigh at the end of your voice, and you breathe out at the end of the sentence. It trails off, but you cannot hear it because you have the same issues. Then you'll just say, "Oh, it just sounds like he's saying like the S longer." No, or they're trailing off. No, they're depressed. You're hunched and you have zero confidence. Your face is tight. It's full of cortisol, right? It doesn't move. Your face is just like full of trauma. Hey, how's it going? Oh, my face can't move. Makes sense? So you're unaware. Let's look over a testimonial that I posted on the first channel. Okay. I just recently posted this. So I think it's a good example because this student, right, for him, he actually only worked on the body language and nonverbal communication, the 55%. He actually got laid by. You might say, well, that's impossible. Don't you need more game? What if he never learned how to do game or he never learned the tonality side? This is one of those students that are psychopaths, that are engineers, that have no emotions. They do not crash out. He did crash out once, right? But that's about it. But he never crashed out over and over like the far left types. The ones that come to me for coaching now because the rest of them quit. These guys are always dealing with their engineering job. And let's hear what he has to say. Okay. So talk about China and my experience with this coaching. So I about myself, 5'7", Chinese, from South Asia, from US. So really 5'7". US as a software engineer. Now, typical engineers, I was a very unsociable person, very logical, do small talk at all, very boring, very monotonous. Yeah, very monotonous, monotone, right? The way they talk is like, you're an engineer when you're talking kind of like this, and one note goes up, and then you just continue talking like this, right? Super, super monotone and super boring. And one note goes up again, but you're super boring. No, not famous at all. But after going through John's program, just 2 weeks of it, I have a full day yet. I was able to get laid with a white girl just yesterday.
And so I heard about.
So it's 2 weeks, right? This year is more like 3 weeks. So if somebody quits in 2 weeks, right, the other students got laid in 3 weeks as the earliest. It takes 21 days to develop a habit, right? 21 days, not fucking 14 days, not showing up, disappearing every 3 days or something, and then that's not gonna work. And then just failing every assignment, half-assing it. You have to be consistent. I'd rather you do like 10, 15 minutes of practice a day, and then it changes your habits rather than trying to like do it once every single 3 days. You will not build any habits. You just reinforce bad habits, mass approaching.
I just followed all of John's instructions on how to approach a girl, how to open her, how to talk to her, and keep a conversation going for like 5 to 6 minutes. And finally, I never closer. And a week later, I invited her on a date, which she said yes to. And John gave me more instructions on the date, how to go to my place. So I started it, managed to get her to my place with her objections, like the way John teaches it. I managed to get a blowjob for her. Well, she was just saying that she was saying like, "Oh, I'm on the bill. I'm not supposed to be in a guy's house tonight. Mom doesn't know about it." I mean, there were a lot of. She had a lot of objections basically about being there, but following John's teachings, I was able to
Do
deal
you
with it.
hear how he talks like? It's very monotone, right?
And it got her in the mood. So, I mean, it ended that day with a blowjob because her mom called and she needed to go back early. But after that, I mean, John just told me to text her and plan another day to hang out. So I did that. And next week, I was able to get her out again. And this time I got laid with her. So this girl was like a brunette, born and raised in the US. So pure white girl. So, I mean, if I can do it with John's system, I think everyone can. Because the course I took from John was Kaizen. That is the first course. I'm part of his 3MP bundle, which is 3 months of proficiency. And I'm only in the first 2 weeks of his program. So currently,
Yeah, he never got to learn all the other stuff. He only worked on this stuff. So I once had like other Latino students, two of them. They don't even fucking show up for Kaizen. They just literally disappear for 5 days at a time. It's crazy. And when they do show up, they only do like 5 drills. And if they do more in the beginning, they start doing less and less over time. And then the mindset playlist, right? You know how long it takes for a Latino, a tall 5'11" Latino or 6'1" to do it? Exactly like 2 or 3 months to go through phase one, phase two, and phase three. Basically, to go through phase one, you have to write down the 26 video takeaways. Phase number two is calling yourself out. Finally, the 3MP student, the Chinese guys, he crashed out like crazy over money issues. We talked about that for if does money matter. Now he's back in school, but he's barely showing up, but he's going through the phase two of the mindset playlist. So if he doesn't finish all of it, he's gone through 20 videos. If he doesn't finish the rest by today, he's gonna get banned. But you have to. You have to ban them because they'll run away. I can't even contact him. I have to chase him down on Facebook just to be able to contact him. Isn't that crazy? So when they're running away from me, they have no right to actually say, I disagree with John. You're running away. How are you supposed to say that I'm wrong? And some of these guys, they never even seen my course before because I told them not to go through Elite 30 yet, or go through Elite Playbook or Elite Daygame First Steps or Elite Focus for Day Gamers. Just focus on the Elite Access. They just can't do it because they're insufferable. They're unfocused. But this guy, the psychopath type, this Chinese student, I see it. This 5'7" Chinese, these types, he crashed out once, right? But they usually don't crash out nonstop. But they don't have any emotions. They just do it. He can stand 45 degrees for 3 hours in a row. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? 3 fucking hours. Who does that? I mean, I can't do it. What the fuck? Like, they don't feel anything. You could literally, like, discipline them, but they turn into an army. They'll turn into like an actual assassin of Daygame, metaphorically speaking, easily. Like you're training a military guy, while the other people are crashing. Oh, I signed up for this. Yeah, so that's like that kind of sounds like Jerry Seinfeld, you know, kind of how he talks like. But let's see here on our topic somewhat. But I got recent feedback on mock interview that I was very tense, full of cortisol. Yes, so this, so that's the thing.
2 weeks training, I was able to make you coverage. So everyone knew it. So funny thing is, I didn't even learn too much yet. So far, he's only
So he has no game techniques. He doesn't know why shit test is. He's never learned a single thing about game. What the fuck? He doesn't know what game is. He has no idea. He only worked on the 40. I mean, he worked on the 45-degree body language and facial expressions. That's 55% of the nonverbal communications. Don't you understand?
fashion, understand body posture.
See? That's it. Just a little bit of social skills flow drill. He just got those 5 points. Social calibrations, social skills flow drill. 2.5 points each. That's it. That's bigger than game. And that's the thing. If your body language is perfect like his, it actually does the attraction building for you. You don't have to do push pulls or PUA tactics or techniques. You don't have to do self amusement because it's so perfect. The longer she's in the conversation, the higher it goes up in terms of gradual attraction. That's the big secret. Not only does the attraction goes up, the seduction goes up too, slowly, both of them.
I do not know how to forget. I do not know how to do so.
See?
Everything was not online, so he was able to capture everything. God, first thing, so.
So he didn't resist. It's that simple. You're like, whoa, then why do people resist? Because they're fools. Like the Bible says, Proverbs, they're fools. They scorn discipline. He was disciplined, that's all. It's just the difference is that he showed up. The difference was he actually showed up to his lessons and he did it. He didn't think, he just be quiet, did it my way. It's only one time that he tried to have low self-esteem and do it his way. He thought by wearing a different fashion, like a stupid red sweater, he's like, see, the conversation lasted longer, John. And then it's like, she fucking friend zoned him. As I told you, motherfucker, I'd rather you get rejected with the right whitewash fashion and husband material and then get laid rather than getting positive reactions. Ah, shit test. These students are like, what is a shit test? So the second secret for my students is that they don't experience shit tests because you have to understand how the face is connected to your state of mind, your tonality, and your words. The main thing to understand here is that my students, they move their is outside in, right? So if they're congruent with confidence, let's say I stick out my chest more, right? And I'm more like a powerful pose, then my voice changes. You get it? Or let's say I start having a Latino frown like this. And what happens in my state of mind? I start to feel more depressed and I start talking kind of like this. No, I'm not depressed. But you sound less powerful, less sure. And then eventually your state of mind changes and your words, you can't even think about what to say because it's affected. You see, it's like a chain of events. And I smile again, right? And then my state of mind changes, right? You see that? And then now I sound like happier and it starts to catch up. Your state of mind catches up. And then your words, you change words. You get it? It's like a machine, right? It writes the words for you. So there's no script. Is that profound, guys? It writes the words for you because of outside in. So the PUAs that are incongruent, it's like, hey, I'm overly, like whatever, I'm going forward, I'm talking super fast like a zombie. And then all of a sudden, what are they doing? They're just spitting up more zombie lines, statements, or questions nonstop. Statements, question, statement, question, statement, because they're overly agitated. They're talking super fast. They're nervous. They're just like playing a mass numbers game and giving direct compliments, and then going to the next one, getting a number close, and then blah blah. So, John, Elite, the world's best day game coach in the world. Thank you very much, Omar. Wait a minute. I know who you are. Aren't you one of my students before? Anyways, like I'm saying, if they're congruent with their sadness, right? For example, their voice changes, right? Like you do this, right? Your voice will actually change. You see that? One of my Latino students who got laid this year, he's 21 years old. And he started frowning, right? I was like, dude, let's see what your face looks like. Send me some videos. So okay. He sends me the video. He's like this. And then when I say try to smile, right? Like this, he's like, it's like an upside down frown smile. He just cannot get over the 50% horizontal line. I was like, dude, that's bad. I want you to spend like all day, 24 hours when you're awake to smile. And when he smiles, he can barely do it. He barely goes above the horizontal. Like this, just barely can do it. And I was like, dude, you need to get some St. John's wort. Even though other people are saying like, oh no, supplements are bad. But in reality, the reason why they say that, okay, and they had this crusade against me, oh, supplements are dangerous. It has like dangerous side effects in high dosage. You get liver problems, right? Omar knows what I'm talking about. He's a supplement guy, right? Just like me, right? Nothing wrong with it. In fact, he told me a good supplement when I got COVID. Right? He told me to take methylene blue. So thank you. Makes your tongue blue. I haven't tried much of it, but he suggested some supplements. But I suggested a 21-year-old student to take some supplements because he's not congruent. His facial expressions were like like this. And then all of a sudden, right, I thought it was a Latino frown. I thought it was a genetic thing. But his smile was like the opposite. It was like this, like a like this. After like 4 days, when he's talking, he passed every like test. He could not get past the horizontal, but now he's doing this. So it was not because it's a Latino frown, it's genetics. Because Latinos do not actually go towards the mental health services. They have a stigma around it, and that's why they're stuck. But when he did that, and he got St. John's Wort, and he doesn't have a lot of money, he asked his sister to buy it for him. He's a 21-year-old student who got laid this year. He's about to get in a different lay. When he took St. John's Wort, of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing. You cannot prescribe St. John's Wort. You can't prescribe it because it's an over-the-counter supplement. You can literally go to a store like a pharmacy and actually buy it. So therefore, it does not need to be prescribed. That's a fake news. But the supplementation, the other person is actually a vegetarian. The guy who hated on me, that Latino guy, half Latino. It turns out he's a Latino and he has a movie, actually a real movie called Meatless Barbecue, right? St. John Warren's a game changer. Exactly. So Kim Jong Un, right? The Indian student, right? It does help a great deal. But that's the thing. The other guy is a devout vegan. He has a real movie on IMDb called Meatless Barbecue, which is crazy because I eat nothing but steaks, right? That's all I eat, right? Or junk food or whatever, and just pop. I eat nothing but steaks. Imagine I made a movie called like Carnivore Diet or something. No, I mean, like that would be crazy. But somebody to make a movie called Meatless Barbecue, it's all vegetables, grilling vegetables. It's crazy. To never try to supplement in their life because they're worried about the side effects they think they can get from their vegetarian food. By reality, the truth is vegetables only have around 4 minerals. There's not a lot of minerals you can get. I would rather you guys have pink salt, Himalayan pink salt, if you're going to be a vegetarian, right? Put some pink salt. There's 86 trace minerals in it. 86. 4 minerals in vegetables. How can you get all these things, right? Oh, but I can get from salt. You can't. It's hard with 4 minerals. Look at Indians, for example, right? Look at bench shorting Indians, right? For them, they're like they eat a lot of vegetables and curry, and they all have a pot belly. It's not just me saying it. Do Indians have a pot belly? They all have a pot belly because the diet gives them loose skin. They look like they're skinny fat, and I'm skinny fat too, but their skin is like all loose and all like what's that word called? It's like the type of skin that's sort of like full of wrinkles. But they all have that. They look normal on the outside, and you look on the inside, just a big pot belly button sticks out, and then it happens. Vegetables are like, I'm not saying vegetables are dangerous. That's unfair to say. Vegetables can create skinny fat. So when the person hates on me because they're a vegetarian and he never tried supplements, it's unfair because even Omar over there, he's done like a lot of supplements. Me and him, we always before we talked a little bit about supplements. So what's the big deal? Right? Supplements help him a great deal. Supplements help me a great deal. Just, don't overdo it. That's all, right? Look up the side effects and see what dosage to keep under, right? If you do a high dosage, don't do it for more than like a week and just go back to medium and low, right? Taper off, never do it for more than a month and you'll be fine. It's really hard to like damage your liver. It takes a long time. It takes like fucking months and months, like 6 months, a year, high dose. But if you have so much cortisol, it doesn't do shit because you're pumping so much cortisol, it's going to eat that away. It's an adaptogen. Hope that makes sense. But let's see here. Do you recommend your students seek out mental health or psychiatrist evaluation treatment? Yeah, it'll be easier because a lot of my students, when I diagnose them, they're like, I'm not diagnosing them. I'm just saying, whenever I tell them what their symptoms are based on the student results, it always turns out true. Like, yeah, John, I have an actual diagnosis for Asperger's. Is that really? You were right. I also have one for ADHD. It's like, I told you so. I think it's worth doing because if you do have like mental issues, then I'm not saying that it's good to take synthetic drugs. They're very addictive and they're dangerous. Supplements are not as dangerous. The synthetic stuff has real side effects. These are not like natural stuff, right? Like alpha GPC. You find this inside like eggs, acetylcholine as they call it. Also for L-theanine, it's not dangerous. It's just if you drink green tea, then you have L-theanine in your system. Does that make sense? And then also, St. John's wort's a fucking plant, right? It's not like SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, but it will help you a great deal. I believe that it might help you focus better. You have extreme levels of ADHD. You cannot focus. And if you cannot focus, you cannot build habits. What do you think? I have ADD. No, I can only speculate, right? I cannot diagnose you. But based on all the things I've seen before, and you lost your job because you cannot focus on one thing I told you, you probably, like most Latinos, have probably the highest level of severe ADHD. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just describing the symptoms. I have a lot of students with that actual real diagnosis. You match exactly identical 100% to them. If I had to say, right? If I'm not diagnosing you, okay, it's not official. I'm just saying you have extreme ADHD to the point of poverty. You need some help. Go get an assessment. And just tell your doctor if they can recommend you a specialist. It might take you like 6 months to get one. Just tell them that you really cannot focus whatsoever on any level. Like you can't get things done that you need to get done. So, hey, random tangent. I remember you saying Ross Jeffrey's advice fucked up your game back. Yeah, yeah. Is there any truth to NLP and seduction? You asked me about this before. I remember, Omar. There's no truth to it because on the left side is mystery. So I'm 2001, right? OG. So I know I look kind of young. You can see some white hairs, right? I look kind of young, but I'm not. So I'm probably like maybe in the same age range as most of these older dating coaches. But NLP does not work. I'll tell you why. The left brain stuff for mystery came in 2000 like 2003. So I'm 2 years his senior. Ross Jeffries came like 2002. I'm 2001. I started with NLP. It did not work for me in university because it's right brain stuff. They use something called patterning. They'll be like using self points, like the sky is blue, right? Or something like this sky's beautiful. Instead of saying this guy's beautiful, the sky's beautiful. They try to use these indirect subconscious patterning. Imagine this is me, right? This is what Ross would do. And then you see your attraction like a ball over here, and that's me over there. And this ball is expanding, right? Can you imagine it expand? This is NLP stuff, right? And then expanding or whatever, and then now you compress it and it makes it bigger, right? Now your attraction for me and self point. These are stupid mental bullshit. For seduction is just a clown show. You cannot seduce her indirectly. The best way to seduce her indirectly on her right brain or subconscious brain is the body language of a natural and also the congruent facial expressions so you don't get shit test. I hope that answers your question. Congruency is king, not by using patterning and NLP sort of stuff. I know all that stuff because I've done it for like fucking few years. Okay, is it working now? Is it working now? Unfortunately, like there's the background. And yeah, don't mind this thing. This thing's just my bulletproof vest. Ugh! Not joking, but yeah, some of my roommates are crazy gangsters, right? So you never know. But all right, I should be back. Anyways, let's continue what we were saying. Just ignore this thing. Let's see if I can do this without crushing anything like my glasses. It's pretty heavy. All right. So as I was saying, right? Um, okay. So basically, I forgot to change the camera back, so there's no virtual background, but it's okay. I don't know how to get the virtual background. Yeah, I don't know how to get the virtual background back. What kind of settings, right? Um, share screen, share. No, no. How do I get the background back? I don't fucking know, right? Let's just be happy that we're even still here, right? Let's just be happy. Let's continue, okay? So the next thing is that if you're congruent, right? No sadness, their voice would change. And that means that the fashion, that body language, the facial expressions, the changes to the state of mind, and then their tonality will magically change. The new words are said without stupid zombie scripts. So you're like saying, John, if you can get the right facial expressions and the right body language and all that stuff, the congruency, then you don't have to make up the script or you don't have to repeat the stupid scripts from other dating coaches. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm starting to fall in love with you" and stuff like that. You don't have to start saying like, "Oh, I'm just walking this direction. I saw you, and I've noticed that like whatever, whatever. You seem very whatever and very cute." Anyways, by the way, my name. It's like you don't have to do all these stupid gamey shit. That's right, because you can free flow it because of the congruency. Make sense? So, do you guys like this background? Red. I always have a red background, right? No matter where I am. Easy to move around. So, always looks like no matter where I am, anywhere in BC. Always the red background. My sofa is red too. So let's continue. So you don't need zombie scripts, and then you're avoiding the ambush of a shit test. Just because you are congruent, you avoid the shit test completely. So it's what naturals do, actually. Whenever naturals are witty and stuff, right? They're actually just, oh yeah, I'm just moving my facial expressions to sound wittier, and they'll come up with some witty self-amusement and shit. It's not the same self-amusement as you got to make yourself. It's like John Life stuff. You got to make yourself laugh, and then you can self-amuse. Like, shut up. No, these guys get into a state of mind, right? Kind of like, and then come up with funny, witty shit. Make sense? So it's like, that's how they do it because their outside in affects it, the congruency. So they never come up with words from scripts. They come up with it on the spot, like a natural. I'm teaching you guys how to be a natural. Everyone's like a zombies, and they're like, "I don't get what John's saying. Why can't I use like DHV stories and do a shit test and then do like push pulls?" It's because these guys are not naturals. When I talk about naturals, they're like, "What's a natural?" It's like, "Oh my god, zombie!" So that's the thing, because that's what the naturals do. They can be witty. They can sexualize it to the maximum because their facial expressions, or they can be like very, very comfortable. They can switch to a very relaxed state of mind with a very good posture, and then they can switch back to sexual, and then they can switch back to they can switch back and forth and back to being witty. But I'm not saying that you have to do self amusement. We'll talk about that in a future video. But the naturals has almost like a remote controller on the outside to be congruent. So that way you don't get shit test. I don't think naturals will have a shit test. Don't you understand that? So, for example, I have one student over here. Let's just play his audio. Hopefully you can hear it. I upload it over here. Um, Indian student over here. Let's just see if it plays.
Guys, guys,
Can you guys hear it?
it's a hard out. Different programs, different coaches, all flying teams, all different scenarios things. This program will change your life. You need to follow this program.
Good.
But I actually have got the results from it. I think is Wednesday, and I got results yesterday. It was Tuesday. It was actually Monday night, and then Tuesday as well. Where I actually made my first white girlfriend. And this is going to change for me as an Indian guy living in the UK because I never thought it would be possible. And then an Indian guy who has been living around people.
He's in London, right? It's just like you, Kim Jong Un, right? You're also Indian, right? So, are you in the WhatsApp group of the Elite Focus for Day Gamers group? Because he actually showed, like, he told everyone he's going to propose to his girlfriend, right? Were you there seeing that? the white girlfriend that he got this year. So it's growing the tree of life. Did you actually see it? So he only worked on his elite tonality mastery, that course. It works because it's congruency. And that's being taught for the tonality, the 38%. You see that? The first guy was the body language at 55%. The second guy purely worked on the 38%. Yeah, I saw. So it's actually 100% real that he's getting married. And you guys know his name. You cannot say it, but see, it's real. It's not like something I'm making up because you both are from the same place. That's why you're so motivated recently, right? It's like, wait a minute. This guy from the same place that you're at is going to get married with a white girl and he's going to buy a ring. It's like, well, what can I say? The stuff I'm teaching works. This is why people like it, because my sermon over here about game actually has miracles behind it. You can hate on me all you want, guys, but in reality, only one style is working. So that's nuts. I'm going through it like you suggested. Yeah, I saw. Exactly. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up. Success leaves clues because this is the power of Jesus Christ. It's not like the power of like any like my brilliance. It's that these are human skills. This is the mating dance. Yeah, back, right? BC. Did you see the other student? Don't say his name in the Elite Day Game First Steps. I mean, Elite Focus for Day Gamers WhatsApp group, right? That you're part of. Did you see a student that's going to propose to his girlfriend, the Indian guy from London? Yes or no? Let the audience know whether or not you've seen this as a witness to the miracles. Yes, exactly. So it's not like I can make it up. It's not like, oh, he's a paid actor, so he's going to gaslight a group of full of people that don't have much money. No, he's really a person that has a white girlfriend and he's going to marry her. Another Indian guy benchoed it and he still doesn't have money to train with me because he's always ADHD. Oh, you're diagnosing. No, he's super fucking ADHD. So ADHD, right? That he almost like got fired. Another guy, and then he just like going to a new job now, and he still has no money. He's turning MGTOW, but I'm just saying, and he was like gaining a lot of weight. It's like success leaves clues. So that's the thing. So let's continue until it's done, okay?
Since you're people of different races, you know that there is a certain hierarchy, there is a certain race, a certain standard where white guys are considered more confident, more attractive, see them in movies, you see the hero always be white guy, but you see the Asian guys not being presented, um, you know, the Asian Indian guys being presented in an attractive way. Growing up, I always felt this way, and also realize how much Hollywood my favorite Indian guys sometimes if you look at that, you can see the Marvel movie, obviously it's few different ways, even the Asian guys can sometimes be attractive, but the Indian guys are always pretty comedic roles on their small foot. And I kind of believe that. So I never really had any confidence in the upper end. I also, diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome
Ah,
and autism as well. So
he was diagnosed with Asperger's and autism, but he still learned my course. The problem with people with Asperger's is that they cannot do multiple steps. Like Indians, if they're engineers, the Asperger's is called the narrow focus. Remember, I'm not diagnosing. He is already diagnosed. I already knew right away. He came to me because he wanted to learn because he had Asperger's. Whenever you have a narrow focus, let's say, for example, you have an intense focus, maybe you like magic or something, right? And you want to learn everything about it, and you're only good at one thing. So all your neural pathways are built around the magic. It's hard to do a second thing. It's really hard. Does that make sense? Let's say, for example, all your neural pathways are built towards engineer because it's built towards one thing. The rest of it's very weak. So when he came to me, it's very hard to do the drills. But this guy is a savant. He has a photographic memory. He remembered everything in my course. And I realized something. Wait a minute. If I can get my other students to have the same qualities, a photographic memory, then they're going to get laid. So I made every single student go through every video from Elite Tonality Mastery, part of the Elite Bundle Resurrection. I made them go through it 6 times in a row. We tried it 3 times, it does not work. We tried number 6, all the notes, you're like, "Whoa, why the fuck am I doing 6 times in the same videos?" Just to get a full graphic memory to install it, and they got laid because they fixed their tonality, they recognized the mistakes, when they sound like a poverty sigh. This guy fixed all the mistakes, got a white girlfriend, and now he's gonna propose to her. I was originally gonna help him get a few more lays and before he proposes, but he wants to be with her for the rest of his life. That must piss off the haters, right? Who rage quit because another Asian student became a father. So
It's always very difficult for me to socialize and to attract culture from the results I'm used to doing. It's crazy that I actually achieved this. And even telling the story is very emotional for me because I never thought it would be possible. I never thought it would be possible to speak about speaking to you without stuttering, without the confidence. And I must say, John Page, because he has interested in everything. And when I first told him I was interested, he told me to get this program, which is Holiday Bundle 2, which includes elite for the autistic hero. And this is a social skills program which taught me how to talk, how to talk about the language, and you actually get feedback from John. So this helped me a lot. And you get a playbook, you get a bundle 2. So the playbook teaches you how to game, and you get scribes and access to John. And this was so good because I could text John on WhatsApp and he would answer. And this actually helped me a lot actually to get to what I should do to have someone there to guide me. And John focuses on minorities as well, which is why I work with other students. And also my success, all of these students are minorities, whether they are Jewish, black, or Italian, or Romanian, or Indian, Chinese, Indonesian, Filipino, Indian, especially Indians, right? Because it's so difficult, to actually attract girlfriend, even a white girlfriend in the country. But I managed to do this. So definitely recommend this. What I actually also got from the program was the fact that I really liked a lot of focus and really I did not have a very good tonality. I was very bad in accent and they made me understand me and they made a lot of fun of me. So the tonality in that story course, it helped me to improve my tonality and it helped me to gain a lot of focus and confidence. And when I joined the business circle, I got even more videos, even more of the secret sauce.
I actually let another Latino join the inner circle, guys. I let a Latino join. So I let JP join. So I don't hate Latinos. Whenever you're my student, you get treated like family. All of you get treated like family. JP is the newest member of the inner circle, right? Even if he's not perfect at game, he can use it towards other areas of his life. I rarely let people in. I only like 2 people let in for this whole year. Just 2 people. Just like heaven, he's gonna learn so much. But this other student is also part inner circle, as he says, the Indian guy. He learned so much there. He knew exactly how to do the arrow science and close.
It's just developing for years. And all of this is good. It's very good to learn, but the real proof is the results. When I started job yesterday, uh, and I'm very happy. I feel like a winner right now, and I believe it's possible because I have done it once already. I have done it once already, so I believe it's possible that I can do it again now. I can have a dream girlfriend. So thank you, John. Thank you for everything you have told me. Thank you for being there as my coach and answering the messages when I ask you for help. And thank you for showing me that being in there is not the end. I want to say this message to all the guys that you can become more than the funny guy that Hollywood has to make you become. You're not only big back theory, you can be funny guy, the nerdy guy, you can be the attractive guy who gets the white girl. And thank you, John, for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you. See, that makes me like a little bit emotional. Makes me like choke up a little bit, even though I hide the emotions. I have emotions. When you hear something like that, it makes you so happy. But there are people out there that are far left, that are fools. Reddit, all these people, they try to take away their futures. This guy is gonna get married and he's gonna propose. Why would those people who are on Reddit that nobody's ever gotten laid this year in Reddit? We can go over every single piece of advice. Not a single person got laid. Why are they giving advice to each other? They can't even get their own fucking people. Their advice is shit, and they're getting angry. Reddit attracts the worst people. Lots of people that are not. I'm not talking about individually. I'm talking about all that are into dating, MGTOW, black pill, all that other shit. They're like sociopathic. And my students, many students are actually from Reddit. I don't want students from Reddit, but I can show you some of the students from Reddit in their testimonials if you want. So I do have it here, and actually I need to upload it for the second channel. But a lot of students are from there, so they just don't want to speak up. That's why we got to build our tribe here of enlightened day gamers, the righteous people, versus the worshipers that likes to worship tall white dating coaches because of the halo effect. All right, let's talk about the third thing, right? The third secret is listening to white day game coaches with zero laid testimonials, or maybe if they're super popular, they have two like this year. Mostly zero is a bad idea because all they do is talk about shit test, shit test, shit test, shit test, shit test due to shitty social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control and shitty game. Factually, most other day game coaches or dating coaches, a huge chunk of them were former engineers, like ABCs of attraction and taught me, and lots of them, right, are like engineers before because that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing because they're engineers and they say they're so good because they can backward rationalize, which is 12 out of 35. Tinder, which does not even pick up, but then they do like night game. Yeah, and then that's about it. And they barely get students laid for a day game, despite being so popular with so much subscribers. So that's the thing, because it's like what the fuck? Ridiculous. I'm not here to sanitize the truth, guys, and walk on eggshells and be careful what I say. Because I'm speaking to you guys in this sermon without censoring myself. I'm not here to walk on eggshells and to, try to be like that kind of person. I rather just tell you guys the truth. So that way it sets you free. Because once you're enlightened and you know exactly how the battlefield is for the day game out there, so you don't turn MGTOW or become a fool, the far left, right? Getting angry at John is like, oh yeah, like you get betrayed by Judas, right? For fucking $400 or 30 silver coins. And then all of a sudden they go to the other faction and they say, let's egg them on, the unenlightened people, the ones who are worshippers. It's like, okay, well, let's try to crucify John with lies, right? Everything's a lie. That's how they do it. They don't want to say the truth. It's like Jesus, he's the most evil person in the world. Everything's wrong about him. Here's a whole list of things wrong. This is how he treats us. It's like the whole thing's a lie. Why try to crucify Jesus or John Elite? Not comparing myself to Jesus. I'm just saying it's kind of similar. The resurrection is that you're going to see a lot more late testimonials I've not posted. I'm going to start posting them. But the thing is that why get angry at me? Because they're self-loathing. They feel bad because when they see a student like this Indian guy who's going to get married and with a white girl too, that's their dream. They want that. They want a white girlfriend and they want to marry her. But to see that my students can do it, just like the other Chinese guy with 15 lays, 5 models, 5 white girls, 2 actresses. And he also did the same thing. He got married and he procreated, and that's when they crashed out. But that's not fair to crucify me because I'm good at what I do. The truth will set me free. I'm the only day game coach right now that consistently gets students laid or get married or get them married, proposing, all that stuff. The 21-year-old student is going to have a girlfriend very soon. I believe we'll see him as the next late testimonial. I think it's coming up within like less than like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. He's gonna pop up out of nowhere, and then I'm show my 3MP student. He's gonna crash out because he wants to get married, but he's running away. The ones who are crashing out snowflakes. But aren't engineers monotone and logical? And also, they try to build systems, but they have very little understanding of social skills. I mean, even romantic flirts no longer works, right? Since 2021. From 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. No new day game late testimonials, just recycled old shit. Just recut, recycled, and then trying to fool people because that doesn't work. Romantic flirts doesn't work because you don't fit in a boyfriend and girlfriend frame. Unless you use alcohol and heavy better emasculation, which I will never condone. But their students do that in the boot camps. But when it no longer works during the inflation and a tariff, the women will resist. Then there's no boot camp documentaries anymore. That's the truth. Of course, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did get some in some Asian countries or some shit. Who knows? But what I'm saying is that this is key because engineers doesn't understand social skills whatsoever. Okay, they don't. And I'm gonna play another student. Okay, I have two options. I could play the Chinese student who got married. He's also very logical. He's extremely logical, hyper logical. So it probably, I said that, might have some Asperger traits, and he didn't like that. But I'm just saying, he's married. He actually went through everything. He did all the drills, and he got 15 lays, 5 models, 5 white girls, 2 actresses, 1 foursome, but 1 guy and then 2 girls or something like that. They're banging like those 2 other girls, but still, he did pretty good. So let's hear his testimonial. I've not released this yet, so we'll play this. He talks a little bit fast, but he worked at his tonality. He worked at everything, so he's the whole package. He also can do the arrow science for game. Let's hear what he has to say. So he got laid right away with a model, Instagram model, and she's taller than him. And he just did the drills and talk slower and whitewash tonality in the right fashion, the right hairstyle, all that stuff. It works. He always fought back because he always was a worshiper. He's actually a worshiper. He always goes to a white dating coach stuff. It's like, mystery says you cannot close until it's like 8 hours or 7 hours. Or a tall self-proclaimed high lay count coach says you got to sexualize it. And it's like, no, you got to flirt. No, I got to sexualize it. And then he starts flirting and it works. Got his first white girl. Oh, UMP says you got to sexualize it or you got to do DHV stories. And it's like, he stopped using DHV stories because white women do not believe short Chinese. He's 5'8". He's not short, but he's taller than me. They don't believe it. When he's like telling, oh yeah, I also traveled this place. She's like, all code. Bullshit. Incongruent. Shit test. Code. Walks away. Don't you get it? A 5'8" Chinese guy with average looks can get all this results. So he went to RSD boot camp with Tyler. Did not work. Okay, this is the next testimonial. I think I have 4 of them together. The next one, he banged his first white girl. So it's an Asian's dream to bang a white girl, a Russian. So let's hear it. See, he's saying sexualizing does not work. The UMP stuff does not work for 5'8" Chinese. It doesn't work. It's all bullshit. Every time he does it, he gets blown out. And if you have a little bit medium SMV, you only get like a 3 out of 10 looking woman every single time. 3 out of 10 when you sexualize it. You filter out all the hotter ones, you push them to the side just to get an unattractive woman. Yeah, she left him because he kept sexualizing it and she's like bored and stuff. The Russian woman. It's really hard to hear what he's saying, right? He talks really fast. So if a person like this can get laid with a white girl talking like this, it's hard to hear what he's saying. You know, if he can do that, then who is to say that you can't do it if you do the drills? And the other person's like, "Oh, I didn't sign up for singing lessons, right?" Well, this guy did it, and he got his first white girl. It's really hard to hear. I gotta change it to like more of a chipmunk kind of voice. Raise it upwards, right? So it's easier here. But basically, long story short, he got laid here. The next one, he got a same day lay with like in Germany, in Berlin. He got a same day lay on his first approach. It's not bullshitting you. It's hard to hear him. I'm gonna change the voice in the future. So that happened afterwards. He says he's gonna propose to the actress, right? And then now he's already married. He's already a father. So this is like a testimonial from before. It's hard to hear, but I just want you guys to know that it does exist. So what I'm trying to say is this is key because engineers doesn't understand social skills whatsoever. Their stuff cannot stand up to an economy that turns people MGTOW. So on my other site, more people are voting, right, that they're turning MGTOW due to the tariff. It's actually even right now. 40% is voting that they're turned MGTOW. 40% voted that they're turned off by me, the far left. You know, and then 10% said they're still approaching. So if I don't do something about it, I come up with something like a course or a bundle where it's like don't go MGTOW bundle or something like a $10 course, $20 course, something small to prep course. If I don't do something really quickly right now and think of something, maybe I can get a platform like school or something, pay $9 a month and host some courses where before you join Elite Bundle Resurrections, you can go through these ones. But if I don't do something right now, people will quit. They need me right now. So they're selling more boot camps to engineers, but their jobs affected by AI, they're poorer. So I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, these are other day game coaches. They know what they're talking about because they're popular and they have authority because they have a high subscriber count. Okay. Let's just make sure people are still here. There's only 2 people here. They're getting turned off or something. What the fuck? Let me just repost it. Okay. Ask any questions, right? I'll answer it. The last question you're asking me is, you have generalized anxiety disorder? I don't fucking know. I have to ask you a bunch of questions before I can answer that, but I don't know. How could I tell? It's not like I'm standing next to you.
So making this
All right, let's continue. So let me switch it back to this one. All right, as I was saying, that you should not just think, oh, because they're more popular, they're better. Actually, no. It's more like, if this is more enlightened, the small audience, right? The small enlightened audience will always get laid. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, right? To you guys, and you follow it, that's where I get my laid testimonials. I'm actually filtering the people that are enlightened. The worshippers, the more worshippers, the more zombies that they have, the higher the subscriber count. Because what they say makes no sense whatsoever. Because it's all false bullshit. Does that make sense? They're all, when they get angry at me calling this like a revolving door or a churn or whatever the fuck they said, and only the best students get laid and the rest of them get discarded. No, I only kicked out one student a year. That's it, just one. Very few people get kicked out. You have to be such a fucking zombie to get kicked out. And even like, you have to be so fucking bad, right? That you're literally like a fucking zombie and you shoot down every idea like a Latino. But you know, very rarely do I kick people out. So I don't have as many students as they think, but I have to convert them to LA, the ones who are still coachable. MGTOW is affecting people's mindset. We talked about in the last video for money. So the tricky thing is that I have the lowest subscriber count is even lower here and offend everybody preaching the truth. But I have more, they have more worshippers. That's why the low SMV guys are the high value, unteachable cases, the 5'11" guys, the tall Latinos, day gamers. They're incongruent, they're delusional, they're dealing with shit test. So I updated the Elite Bundle Resurrections for you. You can now build habits in 21 days. Most of my courses and training uses this 21-day habit thing. It's my big secret to adding more points to their 20 out of 35. You cannot add points by mass approaching since you're just LMS plus game. That's like whatever your looks is, whatever your money is, whatever your status is, plus your tactics, right? It's just like a numbers game. It's like running an ad or something, a bad ad, right? Eventually, you think you'll get something, but you can't fix your issues when you're looking behind your eyes, right? Right behind your eyes. You don't know if you're hunching. You don't know if your face is like tight and very, very stressed out. You can't tell unless you record yourself. So what gets measured gets accomplished. With my supervision, you can correct these issues. If you're a person with severe ADHD who's lazy, of course, you have gaps in your training. You will not do the 21 days in a row. And that's normal. Lots of Latinos, they cannot do the 21 days in the beginning. They try it and they have to take a week off. They try to take 3 days off. They try to take 4 days off. But eventually, as soon as they can hit the 21 days in a row, right? 14 days, another lay testimonial. They have to work their way up to it. It takes 21 days to develop a new habit. And that's the thing. You got to break bad habits of your mass approaching. That day when you show up for 3 weeks, that day is when I get my late testimonial. It's like a Death Star. All the beams are like shooting together, and then it creates a large beam that can destroy a planet or destroy pussy. So that's what gets you laid. Raise your 20 out of 35. The Indian guy, right? Yesterday, he did not show up for the homework assignment. And today, he's not going to show up either. And he's going to lose all his habits. He's going to bench hold for 3 weeks and get overwhelmed. That I told that guy every single time. I keep sending him a Charles Darwin screenshot. It's not the strongest or the fastest that survives. It is the one who's the most adaptable to change. I keep sending him that screenshot that he's not adaptable. And of course, when you're not adaptable, just like the hater, and he failed every homework assignment, you're gonna get very discouraged. It's like working out. If you get no muscles in the beginning, nothing, but you have to do it, it's not gonna be fun. That's the thing. I told him he failed his tonality. He was too monotone, engineer type. He's so monotone, he cannot change it, but he needs to show up. His facial expressions change, but his monotone did not. So what this is going to do is help you figure out how to show up for 21 days in a row and not missing more than 2 days, or you're going to turn fucking mental. I'm here to save people here, but I can only save so many people. I don't want tire kickers who can barely afford $1,000 running away like fools, shooting down ideas and procrastinating. I'm the world's best day game coach. In case that you guys don't know, you know, and this is second channel, I have 666 laid in poll testimonials. I'll install the skills. And also, if you guys have like mental problems, you can always go through that elite focus for day gamers first. Budget your money properly. It's like MMA. You got to do the drills, man. You can't just walk in the ring and get knocked out. And every single time, with game techniques, mass approaching, you can get knocked out. Even if you have more skills, right? You need less game to get laid for day game. So what I've done is create the elite bundle Resurrections. Isn't that a good name? It's like Jesus. The name Resurrections is kind of like Jesus. He resurrected too from the dead. Jesus has resurrected. That's how he came back. Lots of Latinos resurrect like my other students and they get laid. You got to resurrect out of the mental. If you mental, then you're gone. But you got to unmental and resurrect and get back out there. And right now, Kim Jong-un, right, the Indian guy, he's back out there. I give him advice. He put more towards 3MP. And I gave him a Skype. And now he's able to approach every day now. You just don't know how to do it. There's a mechanism behind it. So if you click on the link in the description, whatever, or you try to find my site if you're not turned off because I have a counter argument on the site, I have to raise the prices eventually. I have not announced that there is a sale. It might be over $200 extra just to price people out who are not coachable. Click the link while it's still available. They got really amazing results. There's also 3MP. But let's answer some more questions, shall we? There must be some FAQ questions, right? FAQ, like frequently asked questions. For example, like, let's see here. I made a big list, right, for people that are suitable or not suitable. So it was like a big chart, literally on my sales letter. So on the chart, let's see it. No, this is a testimony. Okay, let's look at the course. All right. So here's the traits, okay? So enlightened day gamers, right? Not the worshippers. So enlightened day gamers, proof standards, judges by receipts and outcomes of my students. The worshippers will worship hype, looks, halo effect in a follower account or a subscriber account. So for practice, right? The enlightened day gamers will do 21 days drills in a row. The worshippers will skip drills and mass approach. The mindset. The enlightened will be coachable, data driven, adjust fast. The worshippers will defend ego, argues and blames the market. And turn mental. Focus. The enlightened will be skill maxing, body language, tonality, calibrations. The zombies or the far left, the worshippers, they'll think tactics, collecting routines, and game tricks. Feedback. The enlightened will want brutal action, corrections. The worshippers wants compliments, ignores corrections to pump their state. Accountability. The enlightened will track the reps, their homework assignments, audio, video. What gets measured gets accomplished. Worshippers will wing it, no logs of anything, no measurements. For consistency, the enlightened will not miss more than 2 days for the 21 days to install the habits. They don't want to break the link in the chain. The worshippers will start and stop and quit on friction. Like they won't be here. Actually, I should text the Indian guy not show up. So You have disappeared for yesterday. If you disappear today, that's 2 days, right? You're going to break the link in the chain. In the chain. You will not grow neural pathways. Don't bench hold. Don't bench holding. That's what auto corrected to. So for texting lens, right? Enlighten, they know like the 20 out of 35 scores. They'll carry post interaction. The worshippers think texting game is fixing bad infields. Enlighten, energy and stress, manages cortisol, voice pace, right? Trains to be calm. Worshippers, sound rush, they sound flat, doesn't train tonality. The coach fit, chooses coaches by student results, which is enlightened. The worshippers, the halo effect, tall, pretty, popular over results. Ethics, consent first, sober, no alcohol, respectful. The worshippers, boundary testing, drama seeking. Investment, the enlightened will buy, implement, report back. Worshippers will buy, browse, and disappear, and then do a hit piece. Anyways, give it a thumbs up for this. This is all I have to say for today. You know, we could answer more questions for FAQ, but I think this is good enough for today. See you guys tomorrow. We'll look for the next topic in the community section. And what did you guys vote for? When I looked at it, I think it was text game or something. Okay. So you voted for, does humor matter for day game? So self-amusement. And the next one, does text game work for day game? That beats everything else. Somebody vote for how to deal with shit test. That'll be the next one. Next one will be day game versus night game. And then lastly, like self-amusement. So we have an order for the next 4 days. And when we finish some of these things, right, we're going to put more on the poll there. You can choose whatever you want to learn. This is my gospel, and this is the sermon for a game, right? So I hope that you guys got enlightened, because if you have mental clarity, you can take the right action. I'm not here like trying to manipulate you for money or anything like that. I'm trying to get enough enlightened people to wake up and realize that this is the way. This is the only way that's still working. Anyways, John Elite out. See you tomorrow. All right. Thank you for being here, guys. I know your time is very valuable. Join my coaching. But if not, it's okay to have some more value. I'm happy that there is a people listening, right? It's the very first YouTube channel does not get this YouTube live. You guys get it because they're ungrateful. They're ungrateful like Moses, right? When he was up there getting the 10 tablet or the 10 commandment tablet, and he went back down, and the other half was just fucking ungrateful. And they start worshiping a golden calf, like a cow. They made a cow out of gold while he's up there, so they can worship. Worshippers are not going to get laid. The whole Reddit forum is not going to get laid this year. Only my students from Reddit got laid, and I can show you who in the future. Anyways, that's all I say. So, anyways, have a good day, and see you tomorrow. Ciao.